participants. Secondly, please keep your mic on mute when you are not speaking. Lastly, this meeting will be recorded for archive purpose. With that, I would like to pass the stage to our presiding officer for today, Zhi Jun, to present the opening speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Xing En. Hello, everyone. I'm Zhi Jun, and for today, the theme is Time, Honor, Taste. Malaysia's food, a timeless delight. Simple, delicious, a taste just right. Time-honored flavors, a pure delight. Culinary heritage, unchanged in sight. I would like to ask of ladies and gentlemen, what is your house signature food? Anyone?
Ikat tepi.
Ikat tepi?
Teh ais ikat tepi.
Teh ais ikat tepi. I mean your
Nasi goreng
house.
Pattaya. What? House?
Oh, never mind. Also like...
Hokkien Mee. Penang Hokkien Mee.
Okay.
KL Hokkien Mee.
KL Hokkien Mee. KL Hokkien Mee
Laksa
or Penang Hokkien Mee
Johor.
nicer?
Laksa Johor.
I see. There are some participants introduce their favorite time-honored food, favorite traditional food, which signature the Malaysian style. However, in this era, due to the fast food culture, people have forgotten what the traditional food in their country is, but luckily, all of our participants haven't. For me, traditional food brings out a sense of comfort and belonging as it brings family and friends together and help us reconnect with one another. The recipes that have passed on my families like Hokkien mustard rice and meat roast and Caesar oil chicken, many more, they help in creating lasting memories of our families, especially during the festive seasons like Chinese New Year. Plus, Malaysia is a country of rich culture where people of more than one religious culture lives together. For example, we have Malay, Chinese, Indians, and many other natives like Iban, Kadazan, make the food in Malaysia more variety, like what the guest said, the nasi goreng Pattaya or the teh tarik ikat tepi, like that. So for today, we honor the past, savor the present, and inspire the future through the timeless delight of flavors that has stood all against the sense of time. Next slide. I would like to acknowledge some guests who who become our role players for today's meeting. First of all, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Jason Chan, Presentation Mastery Level 3 from Bayan Baru Toastmaster Club. He is also our District 51 PR coordinator. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, hello. It's great to be here. I think today is my first time here visiting UNTMC. Thank you for inviting me. So today I'll play my role as the General Evaluator, and I'm from Bayan Baru Toastmasters Club, Penang. So thank you for welcoming here. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jason. Second, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Peng, Presentation Mastery Level 3. She is also from Bayan Baru Toastmaster Club and also our District 51 Mentor Circle Lead.
Hi all. I'm very happy that I'd be honored to invite from Zhi Jun to explain what is Mentor Circle for you all. So I'm Peng, and then I'm from Bayan Baru Toastmaster Club. Back to you, Zhi Jun. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Peng also. Third is Toastmaster Adi, Presentation Mastery Level 1 from Edu Leaders Toastmaster Club as one of our speakers. Would you like to introduce yourself?
So hi, a very good evening. I bid to everyone. So I'm very nervous right now and quite happy to meet all of you today. So I am Adi Putera. You guys can call me Adi, and I'm actually PM2. Yeah, PM2 just recently
PM2.
finished
Oh,
my. Yeah, it's okay, but it's okay. I just recently finished my level 2 project, and I am from Idu Leaders Toastmaster Club. So about my club, it is actually a club where students and teachers and all those professional people in educational field, so they come together and yeah, we create a club that name Idu Leaders Toastmaster Club. So I am from UiTM Puncak Alam. So I'm a student also, but I'm doing part-time as a tutor. All right, so thank you very much, everyone.
thank you, Toastmaster Adi. Lastly, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Jacy, Presentation Mastery Level 1 from USJ Toastmaster Club.
Thank you, everybody. Hi, my name is Jacy, and I'm from USJ Toastmaster Club. Thank you for having me. This is my first time in Toastmaster Club. I'm actually not a student, but if I get to pick my university once again, I'll definitely pick Thank you, and back to you, Zhi Jun.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jacy. With that, I should pass the floor to our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Ming Kang, Presentation Mastery Level 4, and also our Area W1 Director for this term. The floor is yours, Toastmaster Ming Kang.
Thank you, Zhi Jun, for the nice introductions. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ming Kang, the Toastmaster of the evening for tonight's meeting. So as a Toastmaster evening, you can see me as an MC for tonight's meeting. Basically, I will conduct the prepared speech sessions and making sure that the flows of today's meeting run smoothly. And also to introduce some of the important people and role players that we have today in tonight's meeting. So the best way to introduce something is through the history. And I would like to introduce the history of Toastmaster Club. But before this, Toastmaster Club is part of the Toastmaster International organizations. So why not we take a look at the Toastmaster International history. So it all started from this person, Dr. Ralph Chestnut Smedley. Even some of us as Toastmaster might not know what the C means. And if you would love to take a look, I will send the link in the chat box now. This is where I get the info. So Dr. Ralph founded the Toastmaster Club in YMCA, California, United States, to teach men to speak. And it was in 1924, men only. After that, women came. And I think a lot of years before women are allowed to join. But today, it's both gender. Founded on October 22nd in 2024. For these 4 reasons, right? How to speak, how to conduct meetings, how to plan a program, and how to work on committees. And if you realize this is basically what we are practicing currently. I'm not practicing how to conduct a meeting and also plan programs as a Toastmaster of the evening. Achievements. Now, today, Toastmaster International has more than 14,700 clubs, more than 1,000 new clubs. This statistics is last year, I think, and I would also love to share with you where I got this data from. In the chat box, you can take a look. It's from the Toastmaster International official statistics themselves. And the aim is the same throughout the world. Help everyone build up confidence and competence in communication, leadership, and event planning. Now, I'm now not in Malaysia. I'm doing internship in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I've joined Chiang Mai Toastmaster Club, and the familiarities and the aim of the people like-minded is the same as the Toastmaster Club I joined in Malaysia, in Toastmaster Club. We all have the same purpose: to improve our communications, leadership, and public speaking skills. And today is a special day because I just realized we have a guest who is an international past president. So what's the best way to introduce you to Toastmasters International is by an international past president. I would just like to call and welcome Datuk Dr. John Lau. Would you like to just spend like 1 or 2 minutes to introduce your role, yourself and your past experience, especially as an international past president?
Hi, good evening all. Hello, University of Malaya. I never got an opportunity to study in UM in my whole life. While serving as an international president, first, before getting elected, we need to fulfill a few conditions. Condition number 1, ethics. We need to uphold the highest ethics and conducts in conducting our program. Upholding integrity, respecting people, helping the members as and when needed, and do everything to the best we can, which is the core value of Toastmasters: integrity, respect, service, excellence. Serving as an international president has a privilege that we work closely with the Chief Executive Officer, who is currently Daniel Rex. When I was president, Daniel Rex was also the Chief Staff Officer. We work very closely. And I think maybe you have heard of Toastmasters International World Convention was held in KLCC in August 2014. The very first time Toastmasters International having World Convention outside North America. In the past, were always held in America. And the second one will be held in Bahamas, which is coming up this month. Fellow Toastmasters, as an international president, I need to formulate policies which benefit the members. Make sure that the members are not affected by the membership dues. So when I was a president, there was no due increase. In fact, there was no due increase for over 10 years in Toastmasters. Then we need to make sure that every district in the world are performing, achieving the basic requirement or minimum standard set by Toastmasters International. I'm so happy that many districts were distinguished during my term, and Ming Kang will love it. You travel free throughout the world. I have visited 25 countries, flying business class, because as a president, I'm entitled to fly first class. I refused because it's too expensive. I flew business class throughout the world because as far as we can save money for Toastmasters, we save every single cent so that Toastmasters International did not need to increase the membership dues. I have been to deep in the jungle in Africa. I have met presidents of the country, prime ministers, including President of the United States and many senators I met. So if you like to make VIPs, be an international president, be inspired. If you like to be one, let me know. I will guide you step by step. So far, for the past 10 years, nobody has called me, say, John, I want to become international president. Can you guide me? I give you my phone number, 010-3268-333. I will put in the chat box because all of you are very young and Toastmasters need young, talented, skillful people to lead the organization. Thank you, Ming Kang.
Thank you for the kind and introduction, inspiring. So fellow Toastmasters and also guests, now we have a chance to talk to international past presidents in today's special meeting. Special occasion to me, first time I've ever had. So make this your chance to WhatsApp, we have the number, right? You can also use the chat box to talk to Dr. Datuk John Lau in this meeting, right? Moving on to role players introductions. Before this, RISE, respect, integrity, service, and excellence, exactly stated by our international past presidents, is the core values that we hold as a Toastmasters members throughout our journey as a Toastmaster. I would like to touch a little bit about the history of Toastmaster Club. You can read the slides, but basically I would love to summarize. So Vincent Hall is one of the founder of Toastmaster Club, and also another one, University Club. So he realized that he looks for Toastmasters platform during his time as a bachelor student, but he didn't get a chance. So that's why when he was working, he would like to create this chance for future students. So he spent like 4 years following up with administrators to initiate this program, Toastmaster program, and CITRA, the Center of Industrial Training and Relations, is the organization, and it exists here today. Is one of the program in that helps students to improve soft skills, especially including speaking skills, which Toastmaster was chartered, Toastmaster Club. Mid-Valley Toastmasters and MISA Toastmasters came to conduct a naval meeting, very successful. Many students got interested, and Toastmaster of University Malaya was chartered. So this is the first banner that we had. It's quite old. Now we have a new one. But before this, we used to have a different name, TICUM. But after that, we changed to University Malaya Toastmaster Club, and it remains until today. A little bit of history. Again, if you love to learn more about the history of Toastmaster Club, please go to this website that I will share right now in the chat box in more detail, right? Cool. This is the flow of tonight's meeting. Basically, you will have table topics, prepare speech evaluations, plus a sharing session by Hooi Peng, the Mental Circle lead in District 51. Table topics, you will learn more about this later, but I would love to see the guests to join this, to have a taste of your Toastmaster journey. And I would like to introduce some role players, a bit of changes here. Grammarian and R Counter is now the same person, Nicholas, our club member. I would like Nicholas to introduce both roles. Nicholas, please.
Hi, thank you, Ming Kang, for introducing myself as.
Oops. Sorry, I think you're muted. Nicholas. Nicholas, sorry, I think you're muted.
Hi. Thank you, Mr. Ming Kang Toastmaster, for giving me this opportunity. So basically, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their languages, usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, sayings, or thoughts as grammarian. It is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is delicacy, which means it's a particular type of food that's considered rare, luxurious, or difficult to obtain. It also means a state of being fragile, sensitive, or easily damaged. For example, of this using the word is in Japan, sashimi is considered a true delicacy, enjoyed for its pure and fresh taste. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I will give the Grammarian report when called during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Next, I'm
Okay.
also the accountant, as you can see. Then I
Yes.
will give the accountant report also.
All right, cool. Thanks. Next, Jacy, as a timer, please introduce your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, and good evening to everyone here. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and all the evaluations. I will also alert each speakers of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which will detonate specific times remaining. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you. And we're also an honor to have Jason Chan as General Evaluator. Jason, would you like to introduce a bit of your role?
Hello, thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening. So today I will be playing my role as the General Evaluator. And as the General Evaluator, my role is to evaluate everything else, and I will be assisted by my co-evaluators as they have shared their roles just now, the Grammarian Accountant Timer, and also the fellow speech evaluators and table topics evaluator. So I will be commenting on everything else, and also giving some suggestions on how to make the meetings even better when I'm no longer in this meeting. So that's all from me, Toastmasters of the evening. Back to you.
Thank you. Let's move on to our first sessions. Again, I would love to see guests signing up for this session. Explain more by our table topic master. Let's welcome Samuel Lee as table topic master to host table topic session. Samuel, the floor is now yours. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Ming Kang, for introducing me. Right, good evening, hello Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm Samuel, and I'll be the Toastmaster table topic master of the evening. And as the purpose of the table topic master is to facilitate the table topics for speakers to speak for a total of 2 minutes, whereby during the 2 minutes, 1 minute, a timer will give a green, and 1.5 minutes, a yellow light will be shown. And when it's 2 minutes, timer will show a red, indicating it's 2 minutes, time minutes up. All right. So as for the theme of today's meeting, we will be doing time-honored taste. So taste, as Zhi Jun has mentioned, is about food. So I would like to start by sharing my screen and asking, in my hand, I have a list of name, one volunteer who is going to begin the table topic session for this evening. May I call upon Li Ning? If you are okay to share, okay to come forward and do the table topic. Is Li Ning there?
Yes. Hi, Li Ning.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, Li Ning. So today what will happen is, if you are okay to do the table topics, I will do the random picker wheel. So there will be a total of 8 topics. And once the number is chosen, I will read out to you the topic. And from there, you'll be given 2 minutes to share about the topic.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start
Okay.
Okay, number 8. So number 8, your topic for today's session is, if you had to be a fruit, what would you be? If you had to be a fruit, what would you be? Leaning over to you.
Okay. Uh, if I can be a fruit, I would like to be an apple, because apple is really a healthy fruit. Because one day an apple can keep the doctor away. So I want to be the fruit that can let you keep the doctor away. And also apple is my favorite fruit. When I want to go on a diet, I want to be healthier, I will definitely choose apple. So why not, if I can be a fruit, why not to be apple, to make some contributions to people and to let them have a healthier diet and can have a healthier lifestyle. So yeah, that's why I want to be an apple. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lining, for sharing that you are interested that you would consider to be an apple, because like you said, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Must be very high in vitamins. Right. So now I would like to call upon the next volunteer who will be interested to take part in the table topic for this evening. Are there any takers? Oh, okay. I see Adi's hand. Right. Okay. Right. Let me just share the screen again. And here we go. Okay. Number 3. So number three. If you have a voucher that you could eat anything for dinner, what would it be? If you had a voucher that you could eat anything for dinner, what would it be? Adi, over to you.
If I have a voucher for dinner, what would I eat? Am I right? So I would go to a burger restaurant because my favorite food is actually a burger. Some people might say that burger is considered as unhealthy food, but I disagree. Because you know why? Because burgers, if you wonder, burgers, it contains buns, vegetables, and meat. Yeah, or maybe chicken patty. So all those type of food we can consider is a food that give us different types of nutrients. Am I right? The buns, carbohydrate. How about the patty? The patty itself, it gives us proteins. The vegetables, vitamins. Yeah. So I think I would like to eat burgers. Yeah. My favorite burgers is McDonald's Prosperity Burgers. But yeah, that kind of burgers is franchise, right? Sometimes they have, sometimes they don't have. But yeah, I think I would like to have a burger. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Adi, for your sharing. Indeed, Prosperity Burger is a seasonal burger, and I also enjoy eating that. And so for sharing that it's a healthy burger because it's quite complete. It has all three meals, three contents in it, the burger. But yeah, that's pretty controversial, but that's for another topic for discussion. All right, let's move on to, shall we have the third volunteer for this evening who would be interested to
Samuel, I'd like to try.
dabble? Okay, Ikhtifar. Let me share my screen and let's go. Okay. So your number two is almost similar as the previous speaker, but I modified it. So Ikhtifar, if you had a voucher that you could eat anything for lunch, what would it be? If you had a voucher that you could eat anything for lunch, what would it be? Ikhtifar, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ikhtifar. I'm from So basically, the question was, if I have a voucher, a free voucher, what could I eat for lunch for the rest of my life? Well, actually, it happens in real life because in my company, right, they give out food vouchers. So every day we have ringgit to spend at the cafeteria, and ringgit gives you one rice, one meat, and one veggie. So basically, for the last 3 years, I've been eating one rice, one meat, and one veggie. And it has been repeating for 3 years. I think I have the opportunity to use my vouchers for some of our members, like Ming Kang. He once visited Sunway as well, and he enjoyed the food there. Yeah, I think for the rest of my life, I'll be contented to eat Sunway food unless I change job. Then I might be thinking of something else. Back to you, Toastmasters. Sorry, Table Topic Master.
All right. Thank you, Ikhtifar, for your sharing on your wonderful company which sponsors you food to eat. Wow. I wonder what company is that? Because I'm very interested to change my career and even possibly try out that company. Because inflation is happening these few days. And yeah, to get free food is indeed a blessing. Yeah. Okay. So let's so may I know if I can call upon another volunteer for this evening to try out the table topics that I have listed.
Hello, can I try? Long time.
Okay, right. Kenneth. So let me share the screen again.
Okay, number one because okay, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Num number one. All right.
Number one. Would you like a harder topic than number one?
Oh, is this a title?
No, this is not the title.
It's
I'm
not title.
offering you a chance.
Give him the hardest lah.
Wait, takkan?
Okay. All right. So according to your level. Right. So for this topic is, if you were a food minister, Jabatan Pemakanan, what national dish would you promote to Singapore? If you were a food minister, Jabatan Pemakanan, what national dish would you promote to Singapore? Kenneth, over to you.
Okay, now just let me ask anyone who has been greatly affected by inflation. Raise up your hands. Nowadays, when I went to, there is a very famous economic rice store in Malaysia, in Petaling Jaya, in section 17. The store is S11. I'm not sure whether students here would know this store. S11. I ordered one rice, one veggie. Guess how much? $8. My God. $8, man. One rice, one veggie, $8. Oh my God. Nowadays, I'm undergoing my internship. And I'm a teacher teaching in a school. We have a school canteen. And guess how much does a plate of nasi lemak sold? It is sold in $2. That's why, if I'm the food minister, I will recommend nasi lemak to be in Singapore. I know Singapore has been facing inflation these days, right? Especially food. Nowadays, when we eat outside in KL or we live in Singapore, we eat outside, it's either 8 to 10 ringgit or equivalent to Singapore dollars, also 8 to 10 Singapore dollars as well. As a result, the nasi lemak, the most expensive, usual, conventional nasi lemak, is just cost you $2. And if you buy it somewhere near the MRT station, near the Rama food vending machine, and in our KK Mart in it costs you $1.60 only. Nasi lemak saves my day. And I hoped to indoctrinate to the Singaporeans that nasi lemak can save them too. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth, for your wonderful sharing. Yes, indeed, nasi lemak, everywhere you can find, and everywhere the prices of nasi lemak is indeed within a budget range, something that we can afford. And economy rice also, like S11, can get pricey at times when it depends on many factors. But right. Okay, so may I ask timer Jacy Lim if we can still allow for another table topic?
We are already 10 minutes past the original agenda, so I would not suggest to have another table topic speaker.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Jacy. In that case, we will wrap up for today's table topics. And I believe the aSAA, yes, will post the voting on the screen. Yes.
Yeah, the voting is on already, but it's not set by me. I think it's set by Zhi Jun. Yeah, the voting is on. Can everyone see it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So we need about 5 more votes to break the tie.
Actually is our Zoom master and also our TME Ming Kang set the poll, not me.
Come on, we need to break the tie. We have 2 winners right now. 1 more vote, please. Okay, the tie has been broken and we have... Okay, now we have 2 winners. Thank you very much for voting. I will end the poll right now. Back to table topic master to conclude the session.
Oh, it's conclusion. All right. So thank you everyone for your participation. Indeed, table topic is not it's a very spontaneous thing which requires practice. And I believe that with practice, the confidence and the natural ability to come and share about anything that gets thrown at the speaker will come very fluently. And I believe, yes, yeah, that's it from my end. So back to you, Toastmaster Ming Kang.
Thank you, our first timer Samuel, for the wonderful table topic sessions. It wasn't easy to host a session, especially table topics, but I think today we have a good spectrum of people give their topics. Right, we'll now have 3 minutes of break time and also photo sessions. So I would wish everyone to turn on your camera so that you can take a good photo and go to a break. Wei Kang, Suki, Yu Bing, Joshua, please. Good. Right, we'll take 2. Formal 1, 3, 2, 1. And let's take a funny one or informal one. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's you will see the results later. It's quite funny. Thank you for this, and I shall see you in 7:45. So go for toilet break.
For our participant in Malaysia is 8:45, not 7:45. 7:45 is for the Thailand.
Sorry, I didn't do the conversion. 8:45.
I would say
May I have your attention, please?
Eh,
Okay,
fast
sorry
already.
for the interruption. Now it's already 8:45. So as an aSAA, I shall resume this meeting. Okay, the meeting will start now at 8:45. Let me look at the agenda to see the next one is. So I will pass it back to the Toastmasters of the evening, Toastmasters Ming Kang, to continue the next session.
Thank you, Xing En. We resume the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Just now you have witnessed the fast-paced, interesting, sometimes a bit nervous impromptu speech or table topic sessions where guests or members volunteer themselves, given a topic straight away and talk. That was table topics. Now we have come to the other sessions, which is called as prepared speech sessions, which our members have prepared themselves to give usually 5 to 7 minutes, but it depends on the nature of the speech. But the key point is they've taken up projects to develop themselves in terms of public speakings and communications, and they would love to share with you their thoughts, their feelings, their journey, their experience as they have prepared a speech, and I would love to hear from them. Today, we have 3 speakers. Let me share my screen. And before this, what are they actually doing, you might wonder? Well, they're actually undergoing this Pathways Education Program, specially crafted for Toastmasters members, a total of 11 paths, 5 core competencies, and 5 levels, ranging from level 1, as simple as introducing yourself, to level 5, as hard as hosting a 40 minutes panel discussions. So all these projects are meant to develop 5 core competencies, which you can see in the slides here: public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. Well, as a host for today, I would love to share that if you would like to learn more about Pathway Education Program, feel free to go to this website that I'm sharing in the chat group. This is where I got all the informations. And our 3 speakers today will have their projects to develop these 5 core competencies. First, I would like to confirm if our speaker, Adi, could you be the first speaker because of the arrangement, some changes? Good. All right, cool. So our first speaker is Adi Putera. He is attempting level 3 persuasive speaking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Level 3 is intermediate. The purpose is for him to understand the types of persuasive speeches and to deliver a persuasive speech in these club meetings. So, are you ready, Adi? Audience, are you ready to hear from Adi? Let's welcome Adi Putera. Sorry for the title. Adi Putera, PM2, Lion's Mentality. Lion's Mentality, Adi Putera. You have 5 to 7 minutes.
Yes, Mike, can everyone hear me? If I ask you guys, what animal is the king of the jungle? Anyone? What animal is the king of the jungle?
Lion King.
Lion.
Of course, lion. Of course, lion. But do you guys ever wonder why the lion is the king of the jungle? The lion is not the fastest animal on earth. It's not the biggest animal on earth. The lion also can't even fly. But why? Why, ladies and gentlemen, lion is the king of the jungle? Assalamualaikum and a very good evening I bid to all of you. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you guys my point of view why people call lion is the king of the jungle. Firstly, we must all agree that lions have a different mentality, yeah? Just like, have you guys ever watched National Geographic? I believe you guys have watched National Geographic, am I right? My father always loved to watch the National Geographic. Even for me, it is a boring, yeah, boring, but every time I come back home and my father always watched the National Geographic. And then one day I wonder, and then I wonder that that there is a lion, what do you call that? Lions. They take videos of the lions, and I wonder why lion is the king of the jungle. Yeah, why? Oh, and then my father told me that lions have different mentalities. For example, I give you example. There is a program, yeah, a program where lions, the TV program shows that lions versus cheetah, yeah. There is only one lion and there's a group of cheetah, 4 or 5 cheetahs, yeah. They keep the cheetah surround the lion, and then the lions, what the lions do was he roar and all the cheetahs run. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we must adapt. Yeah, we must how do I say this? We must take the lion's mentality as the example to our daily life. For example, I give you one scenarios. Just like now, me myself as a guest, and I didn't even know you guys. Am I right? I didn't even know you guys, but of course I feel nervous. But my mindset, I said that I must be brave. I must be brave and be confident to give a speech in front of you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we people might nervous, but be brave. Set our mindset that I can do it. Of course, in every scenario, in every situation, you facing in your daily life, I believe I can do it. No one can take me down. No one can ever talk about me. They don't know about me. So I believe in myself. That's the powerful of the lion mindset, ladies and gentlemen. I give you one other example. Do you guys know the legendary Muhammad Ali? The legendary boxer? Of course, you guys might know
Yes,
his name.
we know. His surname was Clay, right?
Come again?
His surname was Clay, right? Something?
Yeah, some sort of. But Muhammad Ali, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you guys what, he fought with Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes, one of big name in boxing industries. But one day, Muhammad Ali defeated by Larry Holmes. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Muhammad Ali's protege, which is Mike Tyson. Have you guys ever heard Mike Tyson? Of course, yeah, Mike Tyson. What Muhammad Ali said to Mike Tyson, please revenge him for me. That time, Mike Tyson is afraid. I saw this on an interview when Mike Tyson said Mike Tyson doing a podcast said that Muhammad Ali asked him to revenge to Larry Holmes, and then at that moment he being scared because Larry Holmes is bigger guy than him. But then what Muhammad Ali said, set your mindset, be brave, and have lion's mentality. Yeah, I saw this on the podcast before this. And then at that moment, Mike Tyson said, I'm afraid, but I believe I can do it. And ladies and gentlemen, during that fight, Mike Larry versus Larry Holmes, guess who won? Mike Tyson. Yeah, because Mike Tyson has the powerful mindset, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, I must say that lions have a great leadership. A great leadership, ladies and gentlemen. Because you know why? I saw on National Geographic programs, the lion cubs, the cute lion cubs. The lion cubs follow his parents, their parents. The lion cubs battling with each other, or I must say that they sparring with each other. Because you know why? Because they saw that their parents battling with other animals. So in this situation, I assume that, I believe that the Lions Cub mentor their parents. They saw what their parents did and they copied. So there is a kind of mentor and protege relationship, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. So to conclude this situation, we as a human being, we must have a mentor, just like lions. Yeah, just like lions, we must have a mentor. We must have a role model in our daily life. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I believe that I will humbly suggest and would like to advise to everyone, don't be scared in whatever you do and trust in yourself. Have a great mindset. You can do it. No one can say no to you. Never let anyone let you down. That's all from me. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
A big round of applause to our first speaker, Adi. From lion to legendary boxer, speaking about mentors in delicacy. While we have time for our evaluator, Ikhtifar, to present, let's hear from all of us, all of you. What do you think of Adi's speech? I just ask this question in the chat box and you can type your response. Ikhtifar, are you ready? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so normally we will have evaluators to give feedback in the later sessions, but in this case, we have a slight change. The Ikhtifar would like to challenge himself to the evaluations. So I would now like to call upon Ikhtifar Rafi to give a 2 to 3 minutes evaluation to our first speaker. Ikhtifar, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmasters of Evening, Ming Kang. Okay, now, as the word of the day was delicacy, right? So I'm going to dissect his speech, Adi's Putra speech, like nasi lemak. First, the rice. So, I like the way that Adi give us the introduction, where it is a typical of a normal school speaking contest, where he give us a question, a short intro, then he introduce himself, then he recap back the intro. So I think that is the normal way of contestants during a school competition will do that. It's good, practice it. It can give it give us some time to think about. And also what I like is the subject of the day, which is about lion's mentality. He gave us in a way that as a lion and as a leader, what we should do and everything. And next, I like to add a bit of sambal, 2 points of improvements. So number one, in order to control your nervousness and also to decrease your numbers of R's and what you can do is you just can pause a bit. Just pause, let the message sink in, then you continue back. There's no wrong or right, there's no right of doing this, because the thing is, right, it's our speech. We are the ones who control the speech. The listeners will see what we present to them. And second thing is, I think the ideas that you gave was solid, was nice examples and everything. But as you know that as a FESI or as a education leader, you have to better introduce your story. As for example, you're talking about Mike Tyson and the other guy. So like you should give a backstory. I say, okay, guys, you know about Mike Tyson? Yes, we know about Mike Tyson. Then we talk about the other guy and everything. I forgot his name, sorry, because I'm not a big wrestling fan. And then the second one was the protege of Mike Tyson. So to link up the story, right, you have to give a bit more of a backstory so that people can see the flow. And why did Mike Tyson go and revenge for his master? And after that, give a bit of debrief. So make sure that every example you give, right, is reconnect to your title, the lion's mentality. Because I see a bit of space or gap between the story that you're giving and also the models that you want to incorporate in your speech. And lastly, your hand gestures were a bit too much, because I see that there's some points where you need to do any hand gestures. And let's say, for example, there's one part where you see that, oh, I saw a program. There was a lion cub doing this and doing that. So it's have some motives of doing your hand gestures. All in all, it was a good speech. I really like it. And I really like the story behind it. It's just that we need to fine tune a bit more and it will be a superb story. Back to you, Toastmasters of Evening.
Thank you for the feedback. I would like to ask our GE, Jason, if you would like to give a comment to Ikhtifar now or later.
Since he just give it and it's fresh from the oven, then I think I'll do this. Then later on, I'll only give my general evaluation report later on. Correct? Is that okay?
Sure, sure.
Okay. So basically, Ikhtifar, I really like your evaluation. Firstly, I like the attitude that you want to challenge yourself to give an evaluation right immediately. So this is a very good effort. Now, I like to comment a little bit about your evaluation. I think it was really solid, straight to the point, and quick. You share about what are the good things, and you also added some sambal. You see, I like the presentation. Add some sambal to improve the speech, and those are very good suggestions. For example, control the nervousness, introduce your story, and also to reconnect yourself back to the title. Now, just some area for improvement. Perhaps number one, if possible, try not to use terms like the other guy, because that would lower your credibility a little bit. The other guys, there are only two boxes. It's only Muhammad Ali and the other guy, Mike Tyson. And I think you made a mistake a little bit when you say the protege of Mike Tyson. Actually, Mike Tyson is the protege of Muhammad Ali. So these are some things, if a person is a bit more detailed, then they would probably be a bit more skeptical with the evaluation. The other thing that you can also add on is I did my evaluation a little bit on his one actually. So I'll just add in a little bit. When he mentioned that, just now Adi mentioned, he saw when they see what their parents do, perhaps they can change it by using a few idioms, by saying monkey see, monkey do. It would sound nicer. And the last part, perhaps if he could end with a much stronger conclusion, then it would be nicer. But I think there was, because due to the lack of time, then he was just rushing through the red color. Other than that, I think the evaluation overall, I must say, is pretty good, considering you only have that little time. So I really enjoyed it. Just a bit more sambal. I use your term, add a bit more sambal, and then you will spice it up and can introduce this sambal to the Singaporeans. That's all from me. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, G, for the feedback to the evaluator as well as the speaker. I think tonight's meeting is getting more spicy with more and more sambal adding to the meeting. The next two speeches will be more spicy, I suppose. Let's introduce the next speaker. Our next speaker is a home club member, Koon Yeat. He is the aSAA of this term, and he's attempting level 1, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. The purpose is to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. So ladies and gentlemen, let's see how Koon Yeat attempt these projects. Let's look at his vocal variety and also his body language and gestures. Koon Yeat, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Wow, good. Confirmation, yes. So,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, audience, grab your drinks, grab your snacks. Let's enjoy Koon Yeat's speech. The style of communication, Ding Koon Yeat. You have 5 to 7 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Ming Kang. Yes, in the past, we are talking about how can we get a cheapest cost and testing with people which is far away from us, so that we can have real-time conversations and effective conversations. But nowadays, this is not a problem anymore. as well as WhatsApp, Telegrams, and Snapchat, and more applications. However, the effectiveness of conversations does not increase, as there's some new style of communications which drag down the effectiveness of communications. Here comes the first new style of communications, the always unread message. I'm sure that many of us have experienced this before. We text a message to others in the morning. Hey, can you submit these proposals to me in an hour? Or, hey, can I ask you a questions? And we check it in the afternoons. The status in the WhatsApp is unread. And at night, we check again with the status, still be unread. And it is okay, but it's not in emergency situations. However, it comes to emergency situations, and you'll be frustrated. You'll try to see that, is that he or she is purposely ignore my message? Is that he doesn't want to reply my messages anymore? And you will become more frustrated when you see the WhatsApp status that says that he or she last seen 5 minutes ago. This first type of communications that we are usually seeing nowadays. And the second type of communications that is common around me is that people like to have a short reply. For example, the reply to you emoji, or the reply with words, that's all. For example, when we go for a group assignments, they might be one of the two people when we ask, if they have any problems, if they have any questions, do you understand? Is that luckily? You give you a thumbs up. Okay, I assume that, yes, you understand. Is there have any problems? Wow, in the worst situation is that the people give you a small space. Hey, what's that means? Is that okay? Is that, or you say, I have problems, I'm trying to ask, so I give a small face as I'm question about what's your emoji is about. Is that a good emoji? How I want to apply to your emoji with that? So to conquer these two types of conversations, I would suggest all of us just call them directly instead of wasting time testing them. As calling people is the most effective way for communication instead of testing them. Ask them, hey, is that understanding? Can you reply me more clearly? As calling people can force them to reply you immediately, so that emojis with communication will not apply. Besides that, I think a lot of people nowadays have this practice to use short forms, which including me. For example, IKR, I know, right? BRBs, be right back. However, this kind of short forms somehow will cause the conversation is not inefficient, is inefficient, as there's some misunderstanding between the conversation when it comes to some many meanings short forms such as BTWs. I would say that it means by the way. However, myself will say that no. BTWs it means that between. So it comes to conversations, you cause some misunderstandings. And when this conversation also shows that you are not unprofessional. And for example, you go for like interviews with others companies. If you test them TQs, I will reply you soon, and these meetings will be BRBs. Instead that the the agents you want to give you a chance to have interview against, I think no. It's just that, hey, you're not professional, you're not formal, have a interaction with me. You're just playing, just joking with me. So that for this, I suggest that every purpose test it full when you have a conversations to others. You lost billions. Change conversations as people want to be fast, be more efficient, and more simplest. However, new style of communications might not be efficient and might not create more troubles. So instead of always use the new style of communications, and we can use a more careless and more understandable of conversations. Yeah, nice and formal conversation to avoid any misunderstanding. That's all from me. Thank you. TQ, our speaker DKY, for the good speech, talking about the communication and miscommunication and over communications. Now, I would love to hear from all of you. Type into the meeting chat what's your favorite emoji to reply and what's your favorite short form. For me, it's BTW, by the way. But someone say that it's not by the way, it's between. I don't know. So that caused some miscommunication, I suppose. Lol. All right. What do you think about DKY speech? Let me know in a meeting chat below. While we're waiting for our third speaker preparing, I'm sure our third speaker is more than ready to share his experience. Let me share my screen. Our third speaker, Salah, is doing a level 2, understanding your leadership style, to identify or share some aspect of his primary leadership style or styles, or discuss leadership styles in general. So, Salah, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Our audience, are you ready? Yes, let's enjoy Salah's Udin's speech. The leadership phenomena. The leadership phenomena, Salah Udin Derry. You have 5 to 7 minutes. The floor is yours.
First of all, please, can you confirm, am I audible and visible to all of you? Or audible and visible?
Good.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, dear fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests. As you heard my title of this speech, which is widely and vastly discussed around the world in some different types of approaches and unique ways. But today, I'm also gonna share with you a unique way of discussing the leadership phenomena. Whenever we listen the word leadership, we immediately think about our historical, religious, or current political leadership. And that's rightly so, because the word leader means the one who leads. And these are the personalities who lead a majority of the population around the world by their orders, speeches, and actions. But today, when I look at this phenomena, I want to extend the concept of leadership to every individual living around this world. Hence, I believe every one of us is a leader in itself. I am a leader of this body, because when I think, this body acts on it. I am a leader of my community, my country, my race, my religion. Whatever I do, that represent them. Every one of you is leader, because whatever you do, that reflect your community, your personality, your religion or race. Each and every parent or parents or leaders for their children. A boss in the company or an office is a leader for their employees, and etc. etc. Now let's understand the impact of this leadership around the world or individually. I strongly believe that the whole world's shape is actually made by these leaders' decisions or actions. I want to just give you the example, a negative example of the impact of this leadership. Just think about World War II, which brought us the devastation and destruction of about 60 million people's death and around about 4 trillion economic loss in the world. This was just one decision of a leader which brought this type of devastation in the world. Same as every one of us makes these type of decisions in our lives, which lead our lives to depressions sometimes, and even sometimes to suicides. That's the negative impact. There are positive impacts of leadership around the world in ourselves, but I just want to focus on this, on the negative impact. Dear audience, there are many ways to resolve these issues. There are many ways, approaches to correct these decisions. One of them is our leadership style. Here, the question occurs, which leadership style then we choose? I believe everyone is naturally different from one another. So everyone will have different types of leadership styles. I just want to share with you my own example, my own life's leadership style by some experiences. That will also help you to understand your own leadership styles, maybe. I was chairman of a students' welfare organization, a non-profit government organization, for 5 months in my home city. All the actions, decisions were result of my consultation or discussion with my friends. I couldn't take any kind of decision or action from my own self. All were the result of consultation. Secondly, my all educational life and even my professional choices have been the result of a consultation or discussion with my family or friends. Even my marriage will be arranged by my family. So what this shows a comprehensive democratic style of leadership. And I am proud of it. I am satisfied with it. I don't have an issue. Maybe some will have. So it depends on each of you to choose your own leadership style to impact the world or impact the decisions which you take. Overall, summarizingly, what I have tried to actually present here was to give you a little bit introduction, a specific and general introduction of a leadership phenomena, its impact on the world, especially negative impact. Thirdly, to give you the solution, just one solution to combat it. Overall, what I take from this whole speech and what I suggest you all to take from this, my speech, is that every one of us is a leader. Everyone is a leader in some ways. Whenever or if we want to live a successful life, then we should choose a suitable leadership style for us. Thank you all for listening me carefully. Now back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the inspiring speech by Salah, our member as well. Deep in our heart, leadership is rooted, and whether you like it or not, you are a leader in some way, right? Good speech, good speech. Again, I would love to hear from all of you. What do you think of Salah's speech? Let me know in the meeting chat below. Personally, I think it's motivational, and it creates that feeling of, oh, you don't like to be a leader. Now maybe you should try to be a leader, at least in some way, right? Impact, yep, good. We have listened to all the speakers today. Thank you so much. A round of applause to our 3 speakers. I'm sure all of us have paid attention or enjoyed the speeches very well and gained something back home after today's meeting. And speaking of getting something back home, the next session will be a session which all the speakers, including the table topic speakers, will get something back home from our evaluators. And I would love to introduce you before I forget. Deep in our heart, we are leader, but deep in our heart, we also have the best project speaker. So let's vote for the best project speaker. What do you think is your best? Now we vote. We have Koon talking about the style of communication. Salah speaking about leadership phenomenon, and Adi persuading about lion's mentorship. Legendary boxer. Wow, fierce competitions. I see a tie. I need one more vote, and done. We have a winner. Thank you so much. And give me 1 minute. Good. Introducing Jason Chan, Presentation Mastery 3 as the General Evaluator. He will be hosting one of the last and most important sessions in today's meeting, the evaluation sessions. Jason, the floor is now yours.
Hello, thank you very much, Toastmasters of the evening. And right now is after we have heard the table topics and the project speakers, now it's time to go for the evaluations. So without further ado, since just now the first speaker, Adi Putera, has already evaluator has already shared the evaluation. So now I'd like to move to the project speaker number 2, Koon Yeat's evaluation.
Sorry,
Hello?
the evaluations the sequence will be TTM Evaluator.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're right. I think I read wrongly. Okay, sorry. Okay, so sorry for the mistake I made just now. So without further ado, I'd like to call upon the table topics evaluator to share with us the evaluation. So Josh, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Joshua Lim to share the table topics evaluation. Joshua Lim, the floor is yours. All to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Jason. Tonight, we had 4 speakers who shared with us their speech-tastic delicacy. Our first speaker for today was Ming with the title, If You Had to Be a Fruit, What Would You Be? Ming, what I like about your speech is that you persuaded us, the audiences, with your facts and quotes. You started off with why you want to be an apple, and you supported it with the quote, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. You stated that the apple is your favorite, and because you want people to have healthier diet and lifestyle, you choose to be an apple. Which brings me to my second point, that your speech is very well structured. You have the why you want to be an apple, followed by the reasons of why is it that way? Why is it that you want the apple? What's so interesting about becoming an apple? In terms of improvement, perhaps you can try slowing down your pace, no rushing. And in the future, maybe you will give us even more interesting facts about apples, because I noticed that you are actually quite confident in giving your speech. So good job to you, Li. Our second speaker, which is Toastmaster Adi, with the title, "If you have a voucher to eat anything for dinner, what would it be?" To Toastmaster Adi, what I like about your speech is that you have good vocal and tone. For example, you show to us that you are passionate about burgers. For example, I love burgers. It contains buns, veggies, and meat. I also like the fact that you rationalize the idea that burgers is healthy by explaining each and every layer of the burgers, including the carbohydrates in the buns, the vitamins in the vegetables, and the protein in the meat. My challenge to you is that perhaps you can share an example on why the burger is your favorite. Is it because of the juicy fat in the meat? Or maybe it's because of the freshness in the vegetable leaves. Good job to you, Toastmaster Adi. For our third speaker was Toastmaster Ikhtifar. If you have a voucher to eat anything for lunch, what would it be? What I like about Toastmaster's Ikhtifar's speech is that he uses his hand gestures to assist in describing each details in his speech. For example, when he was describing about the vouchers given to him from his company, he used his hand gestures to tell us that he was given 1 rice, 1 meat, and 1 veggie from the cafeteria, which gives us an idea of the amount of food that he received. And to Toastmaster Ikhtifar, perhaps you can share with us a little bit more on how others feel regarding you getting a voucher. In your speech, you did mention that you share it with Ming Kang, the voucher, and maybe from there you can elaborate more on how did Ming Kang feel, to add more spice, to express a little bit more feelings in your speech. So good job to you too, Toastmaster Ikhtifar. And last but not least, our last table topic speaker is Toastmasters Kenneth, with the title, "If you were a food minister, what national dish would you promote to Singapore?" I like how Kenneth started off his speech by asking the audiences, how do all of you feel that inflation is affecting our life? He is engaging us about this topic, and he provides us with real examples of how we can relate to. For example, he stated that currently 1 plate of economy rice costs at least 8 ringgit, compared with nasi lemak in a school which costs around 2 ringgit, which is very relatable in our life, that nasi lemak is definitely still cheaper compared with economy rice, and the 8 ringgit is only just vegetables and rice. There's no meat. And ultimately, from this point, he solidifies his statement by saying that nasi lemak should be the go-to dish to promote to Singapore. My challenge to Toastmasters Kenneth is, how would you want to persuade the Singaporeans to eat the Malaysian nasi lemak? Because in Singapore, they also have nasi lemak, but the question is, which one would be tastier? That is my feedback to all the speakers. Hopefully, you can take my food as your thought in your future speech. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Joshua, table topic evaluator. So right now, after hearing the table topics evaluation, I'd like to call upon the table topic evaluators evaluator. I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Chong Yu-Ming to give his evaluation for the table topics evaluator. Yu-Ming, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jason for your kind introduction. Toastmaster Samuel, you have actually you have hosted a very good table topic session, which I quite enjoy watching it as an audience. And I believe the participants whom you have called upon and asked to make a speech will feel comfortable as well. So why would I say that? Is that first, you gave a very good introduction to what a table topic session really, what it is all about. The first thing first is that you have made a remark on the time required to make a table topic speech, which is typically 1 to 2 minutes. You also added that you added the timer lights, which is that green light at the 1 minute mark, amber light at the 1.5 minute mark, and red light for the 2 minute mark. And so on and so on. And as for you conducting as a host of this table topic session, you actually have made an effort to repeat the participant's name after you ask their name. This is very important because it makes the participant feel recognized. And this is how we as hosts or table topic master conduct the session professionally. Now let's go for the juicy part of this evaluation, which is the active listening. Toastmaster Samuel has demonstrated ability to listen to what the 4th speaker has actually said, namely Li-Ning, Adi, Ikhtifar, and Kenneth. So let's start with the first speaker, Li-Ning. So she stated about apples. What fruit she would like to be is apples, and she even make the quote, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away and wants people to be healthy." And what Toastmaster Samuel did is he repeats what she said, especially the phrase here, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away," and also summarize about why she does that, why she thinks this is good to make people feel healthy. As for the second speaker, Adi, he mentioned about his love for burgers and also the contents of the burgers that he believed, which will provide health benefit instead of otherwise. So what Toastmaster Samuel has said, he did give a summary on what he said about the content of the burger, and he does agree to some extent to what he said here, clearly demonstrating that he has fully listened to his speech and understand what is actually said. As for the third speaker, Ikhtifar has said about the lunch voucher and free food from Sunway. This is very interesting. And what Toastmaster Samuel has added from Ikhtifar's speech is that free food is a blessing. This is quite interesting one because everyone likes free food. And he even suggests to himself that he should change career. So what he has shown himself throughout from this remark is that he has understood what Toastmaster Ikhtifar has said throughout the speech, and even put into his own words. This is very good indeed. As for the last speaker, Kenneth is, as a food minister, what sort of national dish should be made to be promoted into Singapore? He did summarize the fact that nasi lemak is ubiquitous in Malaysia and also affordable compared to economy rice. Exactly what Toastmaster Kenneth has said throughout his speech. As of points of improvement, I would like him to call upon the timer to raise his hands up. Okay, her hands up using the Zoom, or highlight herself, get the Zoom master to highlight herself throughout the session so that other speakers and the audience could be aware of the time required to make a speech. And as for the second one, which I believe is rather minor, I think you have missed out some of the people from the chat box because I believe I saw 1 or 2 speakers one or two speakers to be wanting to volunteer, but you didn't pay attention to. To summary, a good introduction, well planned, good in conducting as a host of this Toastmaster session, active listening, and as for the points of improvement, get the timer highlighted and read the chat box. That's all from me. Back to you, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chong Yu Bing. Now, first and foremost, I'd just like to just comment a bit since we are here. I'm a new guest. This is my first time here. And this is also the first time I ever heard of a Table Topics Master Evaluator. My goodness, I really love this role. You want to know why? Because you did such a good job. I don't have to waste my energy on trying to evaluate everything. So I really like the efforts that is taken by Toastmasters Club to create this role. And I believe that just now, Toastmaster Chong Yumi has done a very good job. He has been very observant, detailed, and even offer a lot of points for improvement. In fact, throughout the whole evaluation, it was very encouraging. Very, you're trying to encourage the topics, the table topics evaluator. So very good job. The only thing that I think I would like to suggest is perhaps maybe be mindful a bit of the time. So I felt that you spent a lot of time on observing all the good things, and then there was little room left for the area for improvement. And then since it was red in color, it was just rush out. Other than that, I really like the energy and I like the evaluation. Thank you very much. Let's give him a hand. So right now, without further ado, I'd like to go to the project speaker number 2, Koon Yeat, and I like to call upon his evaluator, Zhi Jun. Sorry, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Zhi Jun, to share with us the speech evaluation. Zhi Jun, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jason Chan. Now, I would like to give my evaluation report to our second speaker, Toastmaster DKY. Sorry, it's Toastmaster Koon Yeat. At first, I would like to start my evaluation report with the first conversation, the goods. What I like about Toastmaster Koon Yeat is he gives a relatable and interesting content. Yeah, as just now, he really engaging with our audience, right? Like many audience attracted to his content, and I just very shocked that I pop out many things that I say that, wow, it's very relatable. Wow, this short form is really blah 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 types of short form like that. It's really get attention to all of our audience. Second, what I like about Toastmaster Koon Yeat speech is he has a good vocal variety. He shows his expression very well. Like for example, he expressed his incomprehensible when he know that the short form of BTW is not by the way, it's between. We're like, oh, finally I already know about it. Yeah, I like the expression, and you already achieved the purpose statement of this project is introduction to vocal variety and body language. However, there are also some improvement for Toastmaster Koon Yeat. First is your eye contact. During your speech, I noticed that you are not always, I cannot say not, it's not really focused on the screen, on the camera. Like sometimes like move left, move right like that. Perhaps you can just focus on your camera, just focus on it when you are giving your speech. Second, perhaps you can adjust your camera position maybe a bit, because I tried and I noticed that you have mixed your hand gesture and body language, but maybe the camera is still a bit low, so I can't see it. Maybe you can just make it lower a bit so you can see your hand gesture. And I would like to hear more about how to perform better communication, like without conflict, as you said just last, because I just say like, hope that there's no any conflict, right? But I would like to, we would like to hear more about like how to avoid it, like maybe avoid using the short form in formal conversation, or avoid to use any uncommon short form. Like I see what Toastmaster Samuel write in the chat box, like YK, we really don't know. For at least for me, it's don't know. For those who know, can write in the chat box. In summary, Toastmaster Koon's speech is interesting and relatable, has a good vocal variety, can make some improvement in your eye contact and the camera position for your hand gesture, and make a better conclusion like how to perform better communication. That's all from me. Back to you, Toastmaster G.
Thank you very much, Evaluator Zhi Jun, correct? Zhi Jun. I don't know if Zhi Jun or Zhi Jun, but sorry if I
Zhi
pronounce
Jun.
it wrongly. Zhi Jun, Okay, so first and foremost, your evaluation. Fantastic. You call the speaker DKY when he was just talking about short form. You use it. Instant attention, DKY. Oh, sorry, Ding Kun Yeat. So that is a very good way to get the attention of the audience. And then you went on by expressing yourself. Pop, 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 blah, 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 blah. Actually 5 times, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how to do it, but I'm trying to mimic you. So these are some of the good openers that you got us hooked on your evaluation. And of course, it was very structured, good points, areas for improvement, and there is a closing. However, I may have a difference of opinion a little bit. Different opinion doesn't mean I'm correct. Different opinion means I see it differently. Okay, so guys, it depends. I personally, when I saw the speech just now, I was looking for the project objective, and it was about, the title was style of communication, but the project was about vocal variety and body language. Personally, to me, I felt that perhaps the speaker didn't really show enough. For me, it wasn't enough, because I prefer to hear something that's loud, very loud, and then soft, and then loud again. For example, do you guys like to use short form? For example, TW, IKR, something like that. Then your hands move a little bit more. That could further be improved some more. But that's just personal opinion lah. Opinion, everybody also have their own opinion. So I'm not saying I'm right, but just something to add on only lah. But I had to say something, right? So okay. So anyway, but overall, I like your evaluation. I still like the pop, 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 blah, 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 and the DKY. Thank you very much, project speaker evaluator. So right now, without further ado, I'd like to go to the next speaker, Salah's project speaker's evaluation. So I'd like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Kenneth Kopp. Toastmaster Kenneth Kopp, the floor is yours.
Okay, just to check myself, am I audible and is my screen visible?
Yes, very interesting.
Okay, I'm using a green screen. Oh no, joking. Congrats, Salah, as finally you have shared with us an impactful narrative on what is leadership and how leadership can impact our lives. It is same as my personal slogan that I have created. It is not an official slogan. We grow and we glow in UMTMC. What are your strengths? We have included a whole spectrum of leaders, from the top pyramid of world leaders to the middle of individual leaders and to the parental leadership scope as well. Do you realize that you have included statistics as evidence? As undergrads, as postgrads in university, we are often instructed by our lecturers to put literature review, evidence, statistics as something that we can show. So we have placed statistics as evidence by including the percentage of devastation due to the misjudgment by leaders. Meanwhile, kudos to you as you have shown pauses, between sentences that I or the audience, we can identify, okay, this is the end of the sentence before we transition to another sentence. Besides, we have provided clear and constant eye contact towards this camera, not to the screen, not to the wall, or not to other things in your space, but to the camera. Salah, the things that you can perform stronger is you can include rhetorical or Socratic questioning. Rhetorical and Socratic questioning is an audience engagement tool to provoke the thoughts of the audience, to let them think more about what you are talking. For example, in the beginning of your speech, you can ask your audience, hey, if you are a leader, what impact can you generate to this world? How can you impact others? By engaging the audience to think deeper, they can explore deeper, engage more, and evaluate themselves into your topic. Meanwhile, what I can challenge you is to shorten your call to action sentence. For example, just state the call to action sentence in just a single sentence. Leadership are caught, not taught. That's all my humble comments towards you, and I hope that you learned something from me. Thank you, everyone, and good luck for good job for your speech, Salah.
Thank you very much, evaluator, Toastmaster Kenneth. Now, first and foremost, Kenneth, you make me feel very old, you know. You know why? Because I'm my old uncle. I don't know how to put the points in PowerPoints. I don't know how you do it so fast. So you have done extremely well by being able to put it on the visuals. This is the 21st century. This is the modern day Toastmasters. Well done. I really like the visuals. The best part was the visuals was very clear. Strengthener. I don't know if I pronounced correctly. Strength and strengthener. And very clear. 3 points. 3 points. And then 2 points. So these are, 3 points for strength, 2 points for strengthener. These are some of the strengths of your evaluation. You first able to put it on the visuals so very quickly and very straight to the point. Evaluation that you gave was very straight to the point, nothing flash, just straight to the point. These are the things that are good. These are the things that you can work on. Those are the things that I think I really enjoyed about your evaluation just now. However, what I noticed is that actually you did something really good by asking, can you all hear me? And then the second thing, can you all see me? Now I know why you asked for, can you all see you? Because when I look at you, I can see you. Unfortunately, the screen is a bit small. Perhaps we can put you on a spotlight the next time so that everybody can see the whole screen. Then it would be so much better. Then the potential of the evaluation would be so much better. I thought that I kind of agree with some of the suggestions that you gave. For example, the call for action, he could have just put in a little bit more. But I would like to further reinforce that the call for action in any conclusion of a speech should always be that one message that you want people to take back if they have forgotten whatever that you say spoken before that. So just emphasize a little bit more on the call for action. For example, leadership is taught, not taught, and emphasize it, put in more strength to it. That speech would have been great. So I kind of agree with the evaluation. Thank you very much, evaluator Kenneth, for the evaluation. So right now, as you can see on your screen, you can look for you can now vote for the best evaluator. So please cast your votes right now and choose the best evaluator. So I'll give you all some time while I also give my evaluation. I'll give my voting.
We have a tie that we need one more person to break the tie. Oh, that person create another time. Okay, thank you so much. That's the end of the voting. Back to the G.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening, for updating us about the votes. So right now, without further ado, it's time for the Grammarian's report. So I'd like to call upon the Grammarian to share with us the Grammarian's report. I believe it is Nicholas. The floor is yours.
Wow. Wow, I never thought you're gonna use that photo of me. So basically, let me share my screen. Okay, so as you can see, there's only one usage of the word of the day, which is our Toastmaster of the evening, Ming Kang. Then there are plenty of good selections of words, phrases, idioms, rhetorical devices. Although there wasn't a lot of delicacy used in the meeting, I can say that there's a lot of food themed words that is used. For example, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Fresh from the oven, food for thoughts, juicy parts. And also, Kenneth, you have a lot of good vocabulary, such as indoctrinate and Socratic, which is something which reminds me of Socrates, the Greek philosopher. Then there are also some some grammar mistakes. For example, gives their, comes an emergency, and also I noticed, although this is not a grammatical error, short forms of, like, for example, IKR, by the way, BDW, it's also known as abbreviation. So that's what I'm going to share for today, which is my grammarian report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grammarian. I really, first and foremost, I'd like to commemorate you for being the Grammarian at the moment where we needed a Grammarian so badly. Thank you for stepping up to the task. I'd like to just say congratulations. It was really good. Now, I like your Grammarian report because, again, you made me feel very old. I don't know how you type so fast. All the things are there, and it's all out there, and it is very clearly stated, and then you shared it with all of us on the Grammarian's report. So perhaps again, just an alternative. I'm not saying that I'm correct, but just an alternative. For me, I believe perhaps this is the culture in KL, because I noticed that when I visit the clubs in KL, they don't like to mention the names of the speakers, especially for the parts where there's a grammatical mistake and error and so on, right? But from where I come from, I'm from Penang, all right? In Penang, for some reason, the grammarians will mention the names so that they know who is making that mistake, who is the one that's making the error, and then something human. In humans, sometimes when we realize people are talking about us, somehow we take more note about it. But then again, I do understand that sometimes it is important to take care of how people feel as well. So it's just a different approach to doing a grammarian's report. I once in Penang did the same thing like what people in KL do, don't mention the name. And then I remember somebody came, one of the guests commented, hey, the last time they mentioned the name, why this round they don't mention? And then okay, now what I do this also wrong, I do that also wrong. So at the end of the day, just follow the culture of where you come from. But just a food for thought, so something that you can think through. All right, that's all from me. As far as the Grammarian's report is concerned, very good and well done. So without further ado, I would like to call upon the R counter to share the R counter's report, and the R counter report will again be shared by Nicholas. The floor is yours.
Hi, I'm back. As you can see, I'm going to give my R counter report. So I'll share my screen for all of you. Congratulations to some but not all of the members of this club that have no pause fillers, which is 0, which is Ming Kang, Xing En, Samuel, Lipn, Kenneth, Jason, Salah, and Joshua. Other than that, there are some people, for example, Zhi Jun, you had said like blah 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 blah. Technically, I don't consider them as pause fillers because you use this to express something that you want in your speech, in your evaluation. Then, other than that, I can see everyone is doing a good job, not creating pause fillers, crutches. So I'm very happy to say that this is my counter report for everyone. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a very straightforward and straight to the point counter report. Nothing much to comment, but thank you for that precise sharing of the for the counter. So without further ado, I'd like to call upon the timer to share the timer's report. So timer, floor is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. While I'm trying to share my screen, I do agree what does our General Evaluator said. Everyone here is so tech savvy. I had to do some last minute adjustment to my report, but I managed to finish it. So the meeting started at 8:03 p.m. So the aSAA calls meeting to order is 1 minute and 40 seconds. Then the president took 6 minutes and 29 seconds for her opening address. And the Toastmaster of the evening took 16 minutes and 2 seconds for the control session. So for the table topic segment, first of all, Li-Ning, she took 1 minute and 6 seconds. The second speaker, Adi, took 1 minute and 24 seconds. The third speaker, Ikhtifar, was 58 seconds, which is 2 seconds below the time. And Kenneth took 2 minutes and 5 seconds, which is 5 seconds over the time. Next, we have the project speech segment. So our first speaker for the night is Adi, who took 7 minutes and 33 seconds, which is 33 seconds over the time limit. The second speaker was Koon, who took 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Well done. And the third speaker, Salah, took 6 minutes and 28 seconds. Well done to you too. Next, the evaluators. So I'll go from the top to bottom. The first of all, Joshua is a table topic evaluation. He took 5 minutes and 38 seconds. Well done to you. And the table topic masters evaluation took 5 minutes and 26 seconds, which is 2 minutes and 26 seconds over the time limit. For the project speech evaluation, according to the agenda, it is 2 to 3 minutes. And speech evaluator number 1, Ikhtifar, took 3 minutes and 3 seconds, which is 3 seconds over the time limit. Zhi Jun took 3 minutes and 41 seconds, which is 41 seconds over the time limit. And speech evaluator 3, Kenneth, took 3 minutes and 8 seconds, which is 8 seconds over the time limit. Before I end my sharing, I would like to say, please don't be afraid of the red background. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, timer Jacy Lim. Sorry, I've forgotten to call your name just now, but yeah, that was Jacy Lim. Thank you for that very precise timer's report. Now, first and foremost, today there's a lot of first timer for me. This is the first time I see a timer writing the timer's report and then put the credit to where the source came from. What credit to Berjaya Toastmasters Club. Wow, first time I see this. My goodness, you know, you're maybe because you're in a uni, you know like your bibliography or whatever, you need to put the citation, right? Who is it? But I think that is a very good effort. That is in line with Toastmasters' value of being respectful. Aside from that, everything was nice. You type everything on time. Everything was good. Precision to the dot. Perhaps just add in one more. Maybe if you can just put in a color code for those who qualified or disqualified, there will be a perfect timer's report. Just a bit more. 99 marks, just add in one more, is 100% already. All right, that's all from me. Thank you very much, timer Jacy Lim. So right now that all my co-evaluators have performed their duties, they've shared with us their report. Now it's my time to shine. I hope I will shine. If not, later you all will never invite me again. So first and foremost, I like to say that I have a lot of good things to say about Toastmasters Club. I'm really grateful that you invited me here today. Now, first and foremost, I really like your agenda. Now, as a general evaluator, maybe I'm a kind of person who likes to read. I really appreciate the agenda. Now, if you go back to the first and when I first look at the resources that you all provided, right? The click on this and then the link tree and so forth. First thing, it is comprehensive. Everything is there. You even have a cheat sheet. Oh my goodness, that is so good. It's comprehensive. And the agenda itself, it covers almost everything. It covers things that I never thought should be covered. For example, these are the members. These are the qualifications. Oh my goodness, qualification, masters in what? This person has permanent head damage. Everything is all written there. And that, for me, is something that is really good because I've never seen that before. All right. I like the fact that the project speeches are also written very clearly down there. What are the objectives and so forth? Everything over there. Clean and very nice. Very neat. All the information I'm looking for is all there. Some area for improvement that perhaps you want to consider. I was trying to look for the theme inside the agenda, but I couldn't see it. I know that you have already stated the theme in the poster, but for a person that's lazy like me, I just want to see everything on the same page. So maybe just add in a little bit of space there. The theme, time-honored food. Settle. We can see it one shot, then it will save my time from flipping here and there. That's number one. Number two, maybe I noticed in the agenda, right? If you notice that 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, suddenly when it comes to 10 o'clock, right? The alignment is a bit off a little bit. If you notice again, the alignment is a little bit off. The 10-0 suddenly become come to the next spot. So maybe you want to shift a little bit of space. Sorry, a little bit OCD. And the third thing that perhaps you can improve on the agenda is this. I like to look at, as a general evaluator, I rely very strongly on the agenda. So perhaps if you can put in the speech evaluator beside the project speaker, it will help me a lot. So I know exactly what is going on. I tend to do that. I believe a lot of general evaluators do the same thing. Just some points for you guys to ponder. All right, just a suggestion. Now, firstly, we started at timer's report was 8:03. My report, myself when I time it was 8:02. So it's 1 minute margin of error, 1 minute only. It's late, but in my view, as a Malaysian, 8:02, okay lah. It's not that bad lah. Just 2 minutes only, correct? What can you do in 2 minutes? You cannot save the world in 2 minutes, but 2 minutes is 2 minutes lah. Late means late lah. So if you want to be excellent, just put in 2 minutes. And I believe the reason why it was late was because we were still discussing who is going to take up the grammarian's role. So perhaps you can just settle the grammarian's role offline, then start the meeting straight away at 8:00. It will be perfect for as far as timing is concerned. The second thing I would like to also on the same topic, right? The other thing I'd like to suggest is sometimes as an audience, right? I don't need to know what's going on, I don't need to know that the grammarian is somebody else. I don't need to know yet. Because when I know, maybe my impression will change. Or in my case, I have a tendency to try to make myself available to save the situation. I nearly volunteered as the grammarian, right? So maybe if you guys can sort it behind the scenes, just sort it beside the scenes. Or just get somebody, guys, can you just get the grammarian, settle it? Audience don't have to know this. So the first thing I learned in Toastmaster is don't apologize if you haven't prepared for the speech. People don't need to know. Same thing here. We don't need to know that there was no grammarian. Just later on, only once you fix it, then you tell us, then the impression will be good. Otherwise, impression was good. Okay. I like the theme. First and foremost, the introduction of the theme was really good because it was, you talk about Ibal Kadazal mix, more variety, blah, blah, blah. And then you use very local terms. Teh tarik ikat tepi. That is very Malaysian. That's one of the best way to introduce Malaysian food or drink. Teh tarik ikat tepi. It's just like me saying, hey, I want curry mee my tauge without tauge. It sounds funnier, right? So this is some good, they're good. And the best part was I saw some in the chat. Somebody responded by saying, oh, some time-honored food are what? Traditional McDonald's. What? True Hokkien mee in the chat box. So you already got some of the audience to start talking. That is a very good introduction and to get the audience's attention. Now, I like the introduction to Toastmasters where just now Datuk Dr. John Lau took over and shared with us. He is the most credible person to speak about Toastmasters. He is the first Malaysian international, I don't know what you call that. Basically, it's the highest, it's basically the international director for Toastmasters International, first ever in Malaysia. So it is the best guy to speak about this. And he did mention a little bit of the history of how KL became the first ever International World Convention. And best of all, he also shared with all of you his phone number. You all still remember his phone number or not? 010-326-83333. I memorized his number already, so that next time I want to look for him, I can remember. So guys, he already mentioned some of his desire to groom some of you to be leaders, to be able to take over his role that he has achieved in the past. Take that opportunity. The man has already given you his number. Call him 010-326-8333 and call him, and hopefully one day, who knows, you'll be the next international director as well. I like the table topics. Very good, because it was in line with the team. There are some meetings I joined, now in line with the team is totally disconnected. But the topics that you gave were very in line with the team. And we got some very nice responses during the table topic, right? So if you had to be a fruit, what would you be? The speaker mentioned that she wanted to be an apple, but somebody in the chat box said, "Oh, I want to be durian because outside is thorny, inside is soft." This is an indication of a good table topics master, because you get even not just the speakers to speak, but also the audiences to respond. And the best part in an online presentation and an online setting is that you can type on the chat box, so you get people chattering around instead of just talking beside, but it's on the chat box. So that's a really good one. So I like that. Now I noticed that the grammarian just now mentioned in the chat box. Oh, by the time that we have break, nobody used the word of the day. By the time we have break, nobody used the word of the day. My suggestion is, I know online is a bit difficult. My suggestion is, every time somebody is going to speak, type word of the day. Please use the word of the day. Delicacy, delicacy, delicacy. Write it that way. Like me, for me, I just use the word of the day, right? I use a few times and I kind of abused it, but it's okay. Abuse it is okay. Let everybody be so sick of the word because you're using the word. So maybe just type it, or maybe put a paper and write there, delicacy, delicacy, and somehow people will just respond to it. I like the fact that today, first time I see somebody actually did an evaluation right after the speaker, and the fact that you guys allow this to happen shows how flexible this club is. Okay, Toastmaster of the evening, I just like to comment a little bit on your role today. First and foremost, I want to commemorate you. You have been one of the most flexible, go with the flow guy throughout the whole meeting. You've been the guy who's playing around with the as the Zoom master, and then you are also Toastmaster of the evening. You're playing around with a lot of things, and if we just kept quiet, right, nobody's gonna know what happened, because you are trying to do a lot of things. I noticed that he was chatting with me behind the scenes about who is the next evaluator and blah blah blah, providing me with those information. So I want to just say that thank you very much. It's very flexible of you, and it shows that you are a person that's very quick with your mind. You can do things very fast. I also like the fact that every time a project speaker has finished the speeches, you always reinforce what they have shared, right? So for example, you reinforce after I believe when DKY Ding Kun Yeat shared his speech, you asked the audience for some short forms plus emoticons. Now you look back at the chat box, look at the responses there. This is reinforcing and also getting response. Engagement, very good. And then after that, during the next speaker, Salah's speech, you also ask, what do you guys think about the speech? And then you get some responses there. That is a mark of a good Toastmasters of the evening, because we want people to be engaged. Engagement means attention. Attention means they will stay there and not leave. So that's a lot of good things I have to say about Toastmasters Club. Overall, I enjoyed the meeting. There were many new things that I've never seen before, and I see it right here. And some of these things I'm going to bring back to Penang, to my club, Bayan Baru Toastmasters Club. So thank you very much, Toastmasters Club. I learned a lot from you, and I hope to be here again in the future. That's all from me. Toastmasters of the evening, back to you.
Thank you for the detailed report, General Evaluator. I think my club VPE and president will be quite happy for today's sessions after listening to your report. Now, who is more happy than the people who is going to win the awards later? So I will now present the award ceremony for the best table topic speakers, the best prepared speech, and the best evaluations. You guys have voted. This is not internal decision by me. This is by you as a voter. So let's start with the best table topic speakers. Now, previously, Ikhtifar was the best table topic speaker. He took part this time. Is he gonna be the best table topic speaker again? Let's see. The best table topic speaker goes to two people, Adi, Putera, and Kenneth. Congratulations, you guys have won the best table topic speakers. May I have like Zhi Jun to help taking photo? Right.
Give
You will
me
be
some
a
time.
Hall of Fame. Yes.
Wait, I think I only can pin them one by one. So I will take 2 times.
Okay. I already made you co-host. I think you can spotlight. So what's your thought, Adi, of winning the best table topic?
Actually, this is honest, yeah. I never won any award before this. This is my first time.
Wow.
Thank you
Seems
so much.
like your club is too tough.
Wait, give me some time.
Okay, I will help spotlighting.
Okay.
Adi and Kenneth. Kenneth, I don't think it's your first time. How do you feel winning again the best table topic?
Okay.
Thank you so much, and let's continue to learn and thrive after this.
Ooh.
Is it spotlighted?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Good?
Good.
All right, thank you. I put myself in a spotlight so that I am a winner as well. Next, we have best speaker. Is it best speaker or best speaker with S? Let's see. Previous best speaker was Shami. Unfortunately, she's not around today. So the best speaker for tonight's meeting goes to, again, we have a tie. Adi and Salah, congratulations. Oh, Salah, Adi, 2 awards in a row. Congrats, Salah. Salah, you still here? Yes, I would like to spotlight you. And also myself, so that I also look like a winner. Good.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Good.
Wait, let me check. See. Yes.
All right, thank you. And we move on to the best evaluator. Previously was Joshua. Is Joshua's gonna win the best evaluator again this time? I don't know. The best evaluator goes to, this time only one person. Oh, sorry, 2%. Congratulations to Zhi Jun and Kenneth winning the best tabletop. The best evaluators. I don't know why, but today we have double winners for all the sessions. Okay. Good, spotlighted.
So that means AD need to belanja makan lah. Double winners.
Let's keep this discussion offline.
Okay. I take myself. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, everyone, for winning. And for those who didn't, try again next time. The room is always for you. Last but not least, we have certificates of appreciations to our beloved Jason Chan. Thanks for coming and thanks for giving all the feedback and being so good. Zhi Jun, do you want to take one more photo?
All right. Get ready.
I get his...
very nice smile. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming. And Ming Kang, as the Toastmaster of the evening, your host for tonight's meeting, sign off here and pass the floor back to Zhi Jun, the presiding officer.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Ming Kang. Before that, we don't forget for our special guest for today. Do you know who is that? Who is him? Who is her?
Peng.
Yeah. Is Toastmaster Hooi there?
Hi all, I'm sharing my screen. Do you all see it?
Yeah, we are gladly invited Toastmaster Hooi, which is also the District 51 Mentor Circle lead, to brief us what is about the Mentor Circle. Pass the floor to you, Toastmaster Hooi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zhi Jun. First of all, I'm very glad to invite by Zhi Jun to have the opportunity to explain what is Mentor Circles about to UM. So first of all, Mentor Circles is, this is the committee of the Mentor Circles. Our top bosses is Ching Li Hua from the PQ directors, Program Quality Directors. And then I have my advisors is Benoni Ui, and then myself as a mentor lead, Hui Peng. As I do have a mentor core lead, Sharon Chong is based in KL. Not only that, we do have our ambassador. One of them is Jason for the Northern. We have KK, Hui Shang, Lorian, and Brian. For the Central KL, you actually can look for Justin, Gladys, Maishara, and Khalid. So if let's say you have any questions or anything need Mentor Circles help, you actually can go through for me as a Mentor Circles lead. If let's say I'm busy or I did not answer, or the answer that I given to you is not answering your questions, you can see for my boss, my advisor, Benoni Ui, or you need immediate help from Central, you can look for the ambassadors, Justin, Gladys, Maisara, and Khalid. So what is Mentor Circles all about? Before I mention what is Mentor Circles, I would like to ask, do you all know Mentor Circles, or do you all hear before what is Mentor Circles? Yes or no?
Hear before.
Sorry?
Hear before.
Hear before. How about the others? Have any ideas or thought what is Mentor Circles? Actually, Mentor Circle is quite new in District 51 because this is just implemented by last term from the District Club Growth, which is led by Li Hua as well. So right now it's initiative by the District Program Quality team. So the objective of Mentor Circles is actually develop more leaders as mentors, because Toastmaster is where leaders are made, right? So actually this is a platform to help the mentors as leaders to build them their leaderships. So we actually support the struggling clubs, which means the members in the clubs is less or equals to 12 persons, or newly chartered club, to maintain the quality of the clubs. So the criteria to become as a mentor, you need to have an expertise in a specific area which the protege want to grow, which means as a personal mentoring, you need to understand your protege, what is their needs. in a specific way. For example, like me, I'm a very introvert person, so I need to improve my presentation skills and communication skills. So you need to understand better and how to help the proteges. The second, you need to at least meet the protege 1 to 2 hours at least for every month, so that you can guide them in more details. Third, you must complete at least a level 3. Why level 3? Because if let's say you're just newcomers in level 1, so how you doing good? How are you going to guide them, right? So you need to at least have complete a level 3, so that you have more experience and you can go through the level 2 pathway mentors, so that only you can have a better understanding how to guide the members and proteges. Third, you need to serve as a CO, means club officer, for 12 months in any follow leadership such as presidents, VPE, VPM, VPPR. This is to ensure that you know more better understanding what's the TIs, so that you can only lead the proteges. Well, in this terms, actually we're going through the interview sections. So which means if let's say you have interested to become as a mentor circles members, you need to go through a sections with us. Instead of interview, actually we are a section called Know to Know You More, so that we can explain, and then we hope to listen to you. What's your ideas? How you're going to make the clubs more success? So next is you need to attend a mentor circles trainings. We'll provide some trainings such as evaluation sections, how to be a great GE, and then how a speech craft, etc. So this is a voluntary, it's not mentoring credit from TI. So this is only recognized by District 51, because as a mentor circles, it's not a position from a TI, so it's only created by District 51 to help those struggling and newly chartered club. So this is the mentor circles role. We have 5 roles. For example, first, you need to act as a personal mentors. We encourage you all to become a mentor, so that you will know how to lead a person when you are going to your working areas. As I know that most of UM is quite young, you all are students. So how to become a good leader is starting to mentor a person. Second, to be a TTT trainer, which means train the trainers. We're going to have the opportunities how to train the members to become more effective, more quality in GE, SE, and TME. Role number 3 is as a facilitators, you need to play a role in a PQ team, which means if let's say we have any speechcraft, youth leadership programs, any programs or workshop, you have to involve yourself to be a facilitators. Fourth, evaluators like Jason, she play a GE in other clubs. So you have to actually go clubbing more to know and help others. In this way, actually, you can learn more instead of keep attending the meetings in your own. So you need to explore more clubs so that you can absorb a new more qualities so that you can apply to your own clubs. So as speakers, TI is also not only for leadership, it's also for build up your confidence to public speaking. So able to present a better speakers, successful club and leadership excellence series to any clubs that requires. Yep. This is all the mentor circles. So you might wondering, I'm like going to help others, right? So what benefit to you? Actually, this is 2 ways beneficial. One is we are helping the struggling and newly chartered clubs, but for ourselves, we actually have the more opportunities to become leaders. Not only leaders, if those actually wish to participate evaluators contest, international evaluators contest, this is a platform where you can go clubbings and then become evaluators. When you go evaluators, more people, and then the GE will actually give you more feedbacks. So from that, actually, you learn a lot. Yeah, that's all from me. Back to you, Zhi Jun. Oh, sorry. For those interested, actually, you can contact me, and then I'll provide my contact in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Peng, for providing a very detailed explanation about what is mentor circle in the District 51. So anyone who are interested in this the mentoring program, you can contact Toastmaster Hui Ping personally. So without further ado, I would like to announce, before I adjourn the meeting, I would like to announce our upcoming meetings. So may I share my screen? Thank you. I would like to make some announcement is just 15 minutes ago, which is during this meeting, Chiang Mai Toastmaster Club agreed to have a joint meeting with us on 27 August 2023, which is a Sunday of the last week of the August. Before that, we have a usual meeting on 21st August. And then after that is 27, which is our Chiang Mai TMC and UMTMC joint meeting. And for September, we have one usual meeting and another joint meeting with IMU Toastmaster Club. So mark them down on your calendar. And for those who are free on 27 August and 27 September, feel free to join us by taking a role in the joint meeting. So that's all from me. Is there anyone want to make some announcement?
Yes, please. I would like to grab my chance. So this is my first time in Toastmaster Club. I see there's a lot of young faces here, and I thank Jason for thinking that I'm one of the youngsters. I'm not. I thank my parents for making me look so young. Anyhow, I'm from USJ Toastmaster Club. We are a community club where you have people with higher age and more experience, like Jason, as our as our president. Our current president is actually a speech trainer. So for those of you who would like to enhance your speech ability more, I would like to encourage all of you to come join our club. My club meeting is on every second and fourth week of Tuesday. Our next meeting is actually next Tuesday, but for tomorrow we have a speech craft session designated for our club members. So it's all right, you can join our normal meeting first, and then if you are okay with it, you can join our speech craft session also. I can guarantee you that the people, all the DTMs in my clubs are very, very experienced. And I'm not from District 51, actually, I'm from District 102, but I'm happy to meet all of you from District 51 and hope that one day we can have a joint meeting as well. Thank you.
So can I interrupt? So I would like to grab my chance also. So I am from Idul Leaders Toastmaster Club. We will be having a meeting next week on 16 August, Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. So everyone is welcome to join my club. So my club consists of lecturers, students from different universities, teachers, and even doctors. So we all from educational industries lah. So all of you are welcome to join. Okay, I will drop my phone number, or you guys can I will promote again lah in the role players group. So everyone feels free to join my next meeting in my club. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. So is there any more people want to make some announcement? Yeah, I would like to join your speechcraft also, if the time is available. So I just take a screenshot about your phone number first. I think I got your phone number because I invite you. Okay.
Yes. Everybody is invited.
Oh. If they didn't have and they don't have any announcements, so I will call this meeting adjourned.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
After this, you guys will be sent in a role players group.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Ming Kang, good job
Bye-bye.
explaining.
Bye bye from this uncle to all
Bye-bye.
the
Thanks
uncles
for
here.
input.
Oh
Bye.
no! In UM right now?
Yeah, in UM.
Oh, so late. Every day in UM.
Econ. So every
You
day after
might as
school, I just
well.
came here and bath.
Huh? You came to UM and take shower.
KPS, there's a shower area in the KPS toilet. Do you know that?
I didn't know.
A very spacious shower area, and the water power is very strong. I mean, the flow
Okay.
rate is very fast.
That's a solid
Wow.
description.
So
Oh, your Jason's still here. Hello, Jason.
No, no. Are you having a meeting? Is it?
No.
You're having meeting.
No.
I'm not
Oh
sure.
no. Okay,
I don't
okay.
think so. Yeah.
I just to respect you guys. If you're having a meeting or you're something to talk, I will leave because normally if I join a